Good morning, Detroit! Oh, my God. Oh, my God. There's nothing better than waking up on a Monday morning and getting to talk about a Detroit Lions football team that is, wait for it, winning football games. I know, crazy concept. All right, Jeff, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Good, how are you? 2-game winning streak. Dan Campbell's first game on the road and 13 that he's lost. It's awesome. I mean, it really is. The way they won, too, they looked like the more disciplined team on the road. Really. And that's the most surprising thing. And that's coaching.
Good morning, buddy. Oh, God. Where do we want to start? First of all, by the way, we got to do our weekly round of applause, right? These are for all the overachievers out there, whether it's the standard American or it just so happens to be some individuals on the Detroit Lions football team this week. Let's start off with, by the way, only took 13 games, but damn it, still deserves the credit. Dan Campbell, first road win. Round of applause, everybody around the room. First road win comes against the Chicago Bears. Dan Campbell now improves to 4-5 somehow, some way. It's kind of weird. In the division. Doesn't really add up with the whole record. 6-19-1 overall, but we're going to leave that alone for now. Let's talk about the important things. Justin Fields, my goodness, you fantasy football monster. Having said that, that is not sustainable quarterback play. And you saw it towards the end of the game. But, round of applause for Justin Fields. I mean, to turn it around, that is still impressive at the end of the day. And then we got to talk about our good friend, Aiden Hutchinson, Julian Okwara, that defensive front. When it mattered most, when it was obvious passing situations, when you knew Justin Fields and the Bears had to drop back and beat you in the air. Jeff Okudah, Aiden Hutchinson, Julian Okwara, you name them, they were there. They made the plays. A round of applause for everybody on defense. Having said that, the Lions win 31-30 at Soldier Field. Chicago, the Bears. By the way, how do we start a Monday? Wait, this one's for you, Chicago. Enjoy this one. Fuck the Bears. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It is an excellent morning. I hope you're all enjoying your Monday morning as much as I am and Jeff is. We made money. We watched Aiden Hutchinson deliver yet again. We watched the young players on this Detroit Lions football team.
They shined.
That have all been part of Brad Holmes' plan. Start to really put it together. Kirby Joseph, not his best game. A lot of missed assignments. Justin Fields as a quarterback. Again, we talked about this Friday. He is a problem off script.
Yeah, that scheme.
And he gave you all of it on Sunday. The Lions were down 14 going into the fourth quarter. The first time since 1993 a Detroit Lions football team has won a football game starting the fourth quarter down more than 14 points. So, by the way, round of applause for that. You want to talk about everything Dan Campbell has been preaching, right? Culture, grit, biting kneecaps. Finding a way to win in the fourth quarter, down 2 scores, that deserves a round of applause this morning. So we can start with that.
It does.
That is a damn good football game. And yes, you gave up 30 points. Yes, the offense at times looked like it had no idea what it was doing. Yes, the defense at times had no idea how to communicate and leave Cole Kmet, who I just so happened to have played against in fantasy football, wide open on multiple occasions for scores. But your team found a way to win the football game. And before the season ever started, before they were 1-6, before they were now 3-6, the conversation we had was this would be a team that is a pain in the ass to play against. Why? That offensive line, their ability not only to control the clock, but their ability to run the football situationally. And you saw it at the end. Typically what would happen with the Detroit Lions football team is they would run the ball, they wouldn't get the first down, they would kick the field goal, or they would miss it, or the Bears would go down and somehow, some way score, but it did not happen. It did not happen. They actually ran it and won the game. They didn't go out and play not to lose the game. And that is a sigh of relief if you ask me. So nothing but credit for the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell, his first road win. Jared Goff, by the way. Jared Goff, I would say his best game given the circumstances. Made the throws when he had to, whether it was to Khalif Raymond on the final drive, whether it was Tom Kennedy over the middle for 44, 47 yards, I believe, towards the end of the game. Jared Goff made the throws.
Yeah, he did.
When he had to. And look, not every game in the NFL is pretty. And you know what? You can all sit up here this morning and you want to tell me, Adam, the Lions are 3 plays away from being 6-3. You know what? Even if I give you that, and I say that's true, then you would have to acknowledge the Minnesota Vikings are 7 plays away from being 2-7. Because all their games are one-possession wins.
Yeah, they're finding ways to win.
Welcome to the NFL. Every game's going to come down to the final possession more often than not. And the Lions the last 2 weeks have gotten pushed up and down the field on defense. And you know what the defense has now done for 2 consecutive weeks, Jeff? They've made the plays when they had to. After they score, Aiden Hutchinson forces Justin Fields to throw a ball he did not want to throw. Huge mistake on Justin Fields' end. But you know who was the guy on the receiving end of it who took it for 6? Jeff Okudah. And he deserves nothing but praise and credit this weekend. He made the play the team needed. It changed the whole landscape of the game. Yes, Justin Fields burned you for a 60-yarder after that. And, it's not like that hurt my feelings because I was playing against him in fantasy football. But whatever. We're just going to let it go. You still found a way. And even when the Bears missed the extra point, who cares? Great. Get the ball, go down and score. And that's exactly what they did. And I'm sure a lot of you watching the last drive of the game, down 30-24, were just waiting for it not to go your way. And when Justin Fields got the ball back, only down 1, I'm sure you were thinking, it's just going to happen this way. They're going to go down and kick a game-winning field goal, yada, yada, yada. But no. In obvious passing situations, Jeff, that defensive front showed up. And not only that defensive front, the rookie leading sack leader, Aiden Hutchinson.
It was a big sack on
5.5 sacks. Yeah. He was causing havoc all game. He was huge in the run game. I would say a few missed assignments, but okay. I could live with it. Young, when it mattered most, and you needed your front 7, really your front 4, to go out there and make Justin Fields' life difficult, keep him in the pocket, keep him from evading, and keeping him from beating you downfield. That's exactly what your rookie edge rusher did. And that's why you select him number 2 overall. And that is why you draft the cocaine. Because it is those key moments that those key positions show up. Your quarterback, we talk about the 4 most important positions in the NFL. You saw it on display yesterday. Whether it was Aiden Hutchinson, Julian Okwara in the backfield against Justin Fields, whether it was Jared Goff on the final drive, quarterback, edge rusher, having protection, your offensive line won you the game at the end, sealed the deal. And then on top of it, you see receivers around the NFL. Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, making big-time plays for their teams. Those are the 4 most important positions in football. The Lions this past draft drafted a edge rusher in Aiden Hutchinson. Jameson Williams likely to come back in December. That is what drafting the cocaine means. Drafting the most important positions and getting an insane amount of production. It has been a joy these last 2 weeks. And you want to talk about Dan Campbell, Jeff, a little bit? Is it the turning point? Is it the finally click moment? Well, I'll tell you what, this is the first time since Arizona last year where I saw his identity come to fruition, right? He's always talked culture and playing hard and kneecaps. And that's all great. You can't build a culture without winning. And when they were 1-6, you were staring down the barrel of potentially being 1-8 heading into New York, 2-8 heading into Buffalo. You're now 3-6 in a pathetic NFC. And I don't even care about the playoff picture this morning, Jeff. What I care more about is that they're winning football games.
Yeah.
Because that's how you change culture. You want to talk to me about improvement? You want to talk to me about year-to-year improvement? Last year was 3 wins. You've already matched it. You can go out and finish with 7 wins. Not only does your head coach deserve the 3rd year, you can actually pitch me, quote, tangible progress. When they were 1-6, you don't get to have conversations like these. You're 3-6 now, back-to-back divisional games. You're going to MetLife, and then it's home for Buffalo. It's going to be a tough 2-game stretch. 7-2, 6-3 football teams coming up. Got to find ways, right? That's what we always talk about. Got to find ways. The Lions the last few weeks, Jeff, have found a way to win.
Yeah, they really have. And the biggest thing I got to give credit for, because if it was the opposite, we'd be talking about it, is how disciplined they were on the road. And they were the more disciplined team. I mean, the Bears, which is crazy, they had 9 penalties for 86 yards. The Lions, at the end of the game, you have 2 penalties. They were doing all the right things. Badgley hit all of his field goals and his extra points. And again, the decision to go for it early in the game, I actually loved it, because the first drive, you settle for a field goal. And then that second drive, you know what? We've been here twice in the red zone. We're going to go for it. They capitalize. Brock Wright catches a wide open touchdown. This is everything you wanted to see. This defense, bend don't break. I know they gave up 30, but still, you mentioned Julian Okwara, 2 big sacks. This is a guy who had 5 sacks in an interception last year. So it's nice to see Julian kind of pop off your screen, and then Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, we'll talk about him in the next segment, but I got a lot to say about Aiden, man. He had the game I asked of him yesterday on the pregame show for talking about the Lions. I wanted Aiden. I wanted to hear his name at the end of the game, and boy, did I hear it. I mean, he had the goal line stop on David Montgomery, and then on top of that, you get a big sack on second down, brings it to third down, and then we all know what happens after that. The game was over with following the next 2 plays. So, hell of a win, man. You got to give credit where it's due, and Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, overall.
And the credit doesn't come without...
They checked all the boxes.
The credit doesn't come without the reality, right? The reality is your secondary continues. It hasn't been fixed. Continues to have huge gaps in communication. You found a way to win.
That's
it. You think Giants fans care that they're 7-2 and they as Predator would say, oh, they're absolutely a fake 7-2. I would rather be a fake 7-2 football team. Believe me. And I think a lot of you would prefer that too. So let's stop that talk, okay? Enjoy your Monday because you deserve it. You support this team. They've gone out and now won 2 consecutive games, their first road win under Dan Campbell. Does this mean he is a surefire hit? He's going to make it work. They're not going to go on a 5. No. I don't care about what's ahead of me right now. This Monday, November 14th, your football team won the game. And they won a game and really the last 2 weeks at a time where you were walking on eggshells. And now you're not. And that to me is, I think, a very important thing. You should celebrate it. You keep talking, all of you. You keep telling me about Dan Campbell and culture. This is culture. Showing up on a Monday, talking about a winning football team. You're still 3-6. You dug yourself a big hole this year. Find a way to recover.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about next year.
And then we talked about this as well. I mean, these guys have to learn how to win. I mean, being one of the youngest rosters, they're doing that, Adam. Like, they really are. The last 2 games, beating Green Bay, no matter how ugly it looked, the fact of the matter is it gave them confidence. That carried over into this week on the road. And those guys played this game against the Bears with a mindset of, we are going to win this game. It's different when you're coming off a 4-game losing streak and you have to win a game. They beat Green Bay. They go to Chicago. They have all the confidence in the world. And those guys are flying around with confidence. So it's a good thing. And now you're playing the Giants next week, another road game. And hopefully this confidence just keeps translating. For young players, that's super important. And for Jeff Okudah, to get his second career interception, but also his first pick 6 of his career. And he played a hell of a game. Man, credit to all the young guys. That's what you want to see. Young players stepping up in a big win.
Think about his journey. Going into the year, he was nothing short of a bust, right? Been injured, injury-riddled first few years. Poor performance when he was on the field. Hadn't had an interception since year 1 against Arizona and Kyler Murray.
Right.
And going into this year even, forget this year, going into this weekend, he was the 88th ranked pass cover corner. Not ideal. And you know what? I know the Bears are a run-first offense, and there weren't many opportunities, but he did a bang-up job, I would say, against Chase Claypool. Did well against Mooney at times.
He did.
Jeff Okudah had a very good game. If not, I think his best game. Forget the pick 6. This was his best game. This was one-on-one, mano-a-mano. I'm going to cover my guy, do my job. He did it. He did it. I thought it was his best cover game, for sure. Easily his best cover game of these motherfuckers.
I was just going to say, it seems like for Jeff, he is making that progress that all Lions fans ask for. And he really is. And to do what he did, I get it's Chase Claypool, and say what you want about Chase Claypool. He had 1 catch for 8 yards. So